Welcome to Sips and Tips, mini episodes of the Leaderish podcast. Listen in as Dr. Jen and Regina bring you a little inspiration to move you through your week a little more inspired. Hey Jen, how's it going?
Hey Regina, it's really, really great today because we are recording again.
Yeah, we kind of took a little bit of a break. We, put several recordings in our pocket. And we've taken a little break as summer got started. And now we're kind of back up and running. We've got some really great topics coming up.
Yeah. Soon we'll talk leadership courage, maybe a little executive presence at some point we're hoping to pull off.
Mm-hmm.
And it just feels really good to get back to it. So I'm so
Yeah.
glad to be here.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget the Are You Ignorable?
Oh God.
I know.
That one.
I
That's
know.
going to be a really good one. And I'm going to have to get really vulnerable for that one. So I'm excited, but also nervy.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll get through it. We always do. We always do. I get some really great feedback today from a dear friend on our leading through depression and trauma, and said that episode really spoke to her and she thought it was the best one yet.
Oh, that means a lot to me. And I know that will mean a lot to Lynn as well.
Mm-hmm.
That episode, I've listened to it a couple of times.
Yeah.
And so much there. And gosh, she's so brave and amazing.
I know. And that's exactly what my friend said today. She's like, that was a lot of vulnerability and a lot of bravery. And I was like, yep, that's my Lynn.
Yeah. And very simply and eloquently shares kind of how she bravely did it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so lots and lots of good stuff going on. We have some great stuff for the future, but this is our fourth mini-sode of Sips and Tips. And today we have a quote from Shirley Conran. Before I read the quote, do you want me to tell you about Shirley, or do you want me to read the quote first?
I want to hear the quote first. I mean,
Okay.
I'm looking at it because we do plan things sometimes, but I am looking at it. So I want to hear the quote and then I want to hear about her.
Yeah, because you know nothing. So I'm excited to share that. Okay. Shirley Conran says, first things first, second things never.
So I love this. I am a time management nerd. I think we've talked about this before. I know I've mentioned Stephen Covey's 7 Habits before, but he actually also has a book called First Things First that really, I was going to say aligns with it. Not only does it align with it, it says exactly the same thing.
Word for word, Jen.
Which aligns.
Word for word.
Oh man, that's funny. So it aligns, and by aligns, I mean it repeats it exactly word for word. And it also makes me think of that whole North Star concept and like some values conversations we've had in the past of like, sure, how do you know what the first thing is?
Yeah.
And that's digging deep and knowing kind of what that North Star is, what that value, priority, whatever. You got to know what it is to be able to say no to everything else.
Right. You know, it's interesting that you bring up saying no to everything else. Let me go through a little history of Shirley.
Because that was a little assumption that I just made.
This is, oh gosh, this is so interesting. She is so interesting. You can actually go to shirleyconran.com and kind of see her whole bio. I've just taken a few pieces of it. In 1932, she was evacuated from London for World War II from the Blitzkrieg, right? All of the bombing that was happening in London. After that, she went to a boarding school, and then like another school. And after that, she kind of started her career in the design industry. And then she got an illness that prevented her from working. So in 1975, she wrote a book called Superwoman. And I'm not talking about the woman who flies through the air and rides in the invisible plane. 1975, she wrote a book about saving money, stress, and time.
Time management at the heart of it.
I know.
Also, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Did she say that Superwoman rode around in an invisible plane?
Wasn't it Superwoman? Oh, crud, that's Wonder Woman.
No, I just don't know.
No,
I was
it's
like,
Wonder Woman. No, Superwoman did not ride around in an invisible plane.
I kind of remember Superwoman, a little bit because they both like, there are people out there that are really into this. So I'm not even going to embarrass myself by pretending like I
I already
know.
did. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. So fast forward to 1998. So you're, 23 years later, she founded an organization called Mothers in Management to improve the working conditions and flexible practices for women and moms.
How amazing is that, especially given the timing of the pandemic and people struggling to find childcare and managing it all from being remote. And gosh, that's incredible. So she kind of helped lay the foundation for flexibility for moms in the workplace.
That's right.
Up until this point.
Yeah. And then in 2001, so just recent history, 20 something years ago, she founded the Work-Life Balance Trust.
Wow.
I know.
So Shirley's still kicking.
She's totally still kicking. In 2009, she developed new concepts for teaching maths in England.
Really?
Yeah. Because now remember, her book in 1975 was for women and how to save time and money and stress, right? So she's always been kind of this proponent for women having financial success.
I love that.
And teaching them financial success, and then translated that years later into how do you help educate kids better with maths. They call it maths.
I know. It's like, oh, you're so British with your math.
I know. I feel so British because, in the US, we just call it math.
Exactly.
But it's maths.
In
England. So
what a trailblazer.
Such a trailblazer. And she's written tons of books. Here's the weird thing. I was watching something on YouTube, and I guess she has a newer book out. She's written different genres since then. She's been a writer for quite some time now. No, it wasn't on YouTube. It was on PBS, A Word on Words, and they reviewed her new book.
And were you going, oh my God, I never would have known who this was.
I know. I'm like, that's Shirley Conran. I know all about her.
That's really weird.
Oh, it was so cool. So first things first, second things never.
What does that mean to you now that you know who she is?
Yeah. Okay. So before I knew who she was, because I want to go there, I think a little bit, before I knew who she was, I was like, oh, like you maintain your priority.
That's what I assumed it was.
But when I think about her and how many things that she's done, I mean, she's written a lot of books. I just gave you one. And then she's like founded all of the Mothers in Management. She founded the Work-Life Balance Trust. Like she continues to evolve and do the second thing.
Yeah.
And so that's why, like, I keep thinking about this quote and I'm like, but you always did the second thing. Like, I know she had to have the next thing on her mind when she was doing the first thing, but I think she finished the first thing always.
I was going to say, she probably focused on one big goal at a time. Because if you were to sit in your 30s, let's just say, and you were to say, I'm going to make a list and I want to accomplish all these things. For me anyway, I want to write 20 books and I want to build some organizations and trusts and all these things. I think I would get so overwhelmed that I would never do anything.
Just take one bite of that elephant.
Yes.
Just start on one thing, finish it, and then move to the next.
Know your true north.
Oh, you brought it back.
It can change.
Yes.
Mine has changed a million times.
I know, right? What about you? First things first, second things never.
I think it reminds me of good time management. I'm just going to sound like a nerd, but I think it reminds me of not time management necessarily, but like life management and goal management, to really prioritize. Mm-hmm. I'm never going to, like, this list right here that I'm looking at right now that you can probably hear the pages turning, like whether it's work or personal, like I probably by myself am never going to get all of that accomplished. But what is most important right now?
Yeah.
Or do I need to pull in other people to help me or forget it? maybe it was important when I wrote it down, but it's not anymore.
Yeah.
So it helps me look at what's right now and work on that, like with your whole self.
Mm-hmm. Constant prioritizing.
Yeah. And maybe have a list, like a life goal list or something that you write down and you bury in a drawer until it's time for the next thing.
I wonder if Shirley did that. I wonder if she had a list like after the war is over, she's back in England. Did she write a list that says, I want to make life better for women who work? I want to help women understand how to be financially independent.
Was she married?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Her husband was in the design industry, which is how she got into design.
Got it. So she had a super supportive spouse and support system as well.
I mean, I assume so. I don't know. I think there's a lot of women though sometimes that do it without a super supportive.
That's very
spouse.
true. I'm just making all kinds of assumptions.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be like, you go, Mr. Conran.
That's right.
Mr. Shirley Conran.
Yeah, that's right, Mr. Shirley. You go supporting your wife. Well, that was great, Jen. First things first, second things never.
I'm really going to be thinking about this for a while, especially with the context of her life. And I'm definitely going to her website to look her up.
Yeah, agreed. Well, Jen, how about we cheers to never?
Cheers to never.